What is going on, guys? It is the Mental Health Gamer here, and in today's video, I want to go into a pretty controversial subject, and I know that there's going to be a lot of hate in the comments, but I'd only ask that you just hear me out first before you make your judgments. I want to talk about why depression is different for men than it is for women. Now, when I say that, it's going into a broad, very broad perspective. I know not everybody's situation is the same, men and women alike. I know of women that go through horrible things. I know of men that go through horrible things, and they suffer for it. What I really want to get across in this video is some statistics that I've been seeing, and accidentally as well. I didn't even know this until I watched Patty the Baddy's fight, or a couple of his fights, where I figured out, yeah, men don't really talk, and that is such a huge issue. Men feel like they don't have anybody to reach out to, and the more I started to think about it, the more it started to make sense to me. I don't want to go into this too much, but there are some statistics here that show that men are more likely to themselves than women are. And I'm just saying this is very broad. I know how it sounds, and I don't want it to sound that way. I'm just talking about a broad perspective, okay? I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm an equal rights guy. I'm not saying I'm not. I just think in society today, it's harder for guys to talk about their feelings. And that it doesn't take a rocket scientist to be like, "Oh yeah, that's definitely true." You see with girls, man, they can have girlfriends, and like I said, let me reiterate this again. I know not all girls have this situation for themselves, and I am so damn sorry about it. But in general, girls have a lot of emotional communication with people, be it guys, girls, whatever. Men, especially where I live, the country I live in the United States, it's mainly you're raised to be tough. You're supposed to be a tough guy. You're supposed to be a guy who doesn't talk about his feelings. You're not supposed to show emotion. You're supposed to be provider, protector, and you're supposed to be the man, dude. And I will say this, my opinions on that have definitely changed throughout the years. Because I've gone to therapy, and I've worked through a lot of my own issues. Now, when I say it's different for women than it is for men, I'm not saying what men go through is harder. I'm just saying men don't talk about it as much. And you can go in the comments and you can rip me a new one, and you can say, "Mental Health Gamer, you are an absolute idiot," and you know what? You're right. I am an idiot. I'm not the smartest guy. I'm not even close to being the smartest guy. I just I approach things from a feeling. And, sometimes it is best to get some facts. Like, I did read some statistics here about how men are more than likely to themselves than women are. And I was just so flabbergasted by the percentage was. Like, I cannot believe so many young men in general, are just taking that way out because they simply do not know how to talk about it. I'll read this to you here. It's from the CDC. It's a .gov website, so it's official, I guess. The rate among males in 2023 was approximately 4 times higher than the rate among females. That almost makes up 50% of the population. Oh my gosh. You see what I'm talking about? Like, this is a real issue here. And this is not me demeaning women. This is me saying I kind of wish that guys were able to talk about stuff like how women are able to talk about stuff. Like, it just, it hurts me. It hurts me, right? Like, I can't even speak correctly because it's bothering me so much. And not to get too personal, even though these videos I do get super personal. You know what? To get personal, I have survived one of these before. And the aftermath is pretty hard because then you're faced with the, well, why and how and why didn't you just reach out? It's because it's so hard to reach out as a dude. As a dude, especially in this country, vulnerability is almost frowned upon by our predecessors, the ancestral trauma that goes down and down in each generation. It just it takes over. And then you wake up one day and you just call it. Now, I know this is a pretty doom and gloom video, and I didn't really mean for it to be. I just wanted to point out the fact that while I'm not trying to be sexist, I do want it to be known and I do want it to be put out there that yes, depression, anxiety, some of these things can be different in men than for women. And that's also not me saying, oh, we're this isn't true for every single case, and I can say that to the moon, but I'm still going to get shit on in the comments, so I don't even know why I'm even trying anymore. Women are able to talk with their people better than guys are. And that needs to change. And it needs to change in a significant way. You know, everybody likes to crap on Gen Z, but you know, Gen Z is also not drinking as much. Gen Z's also doing other things, but still, you know, we are in an age right now where, yes, there are some improvements, but it's not enough. The rates are still going up. We need to break this trauma. We need to break this cycle. Now, cycles are pretty hard to break. Believe me, I'm breaking cycles all the time. But for men who are depressed and feel like they cannot reach out, we need to break that cycle. We need to encourage therapy. We need to encourage reaching out. We need to encourage not giving up. And I know, man, it's hard to read some of these notes and, you know, just to feel how bad some of these people were feeling before they decided to, you know. And I just can't help but think of friends of mine who have also passed away and people I know, men and women, who have passed away to this. And, you know, I'm a survivor. So I've gotten lucky. Afterwards, it was horrible. I was in a lot of pain, but I was able to get the therapy I needed. And all I can say is I'm so glad that I failed. I'm so glad that I failed because my life is so good now, and I just feel like for everybody, it can turn around. It can all turn around in one day, in a moment, in an hour, in a second. It can turn around. You just have to work on it. And it's a simple fact. Guys simply will not be vulnerable. Guys are at the point where they believe it's too much to open themselves up to the point where they need to express their feelings. And that's why I think depression is different for guys than for women. Now, for girls, the girls that are going to be in the comment section really hating on me a lot, I just want to say this. I have complete respect for you and your opinions. I am not a sexist. I am not anything like that. I'm just a human being who watches the fellas I work with, the fellas I grew up with, and some of them are my friends. And I see the girls I grew up with, and the girls that are my friends, and the women I've been around. And it doesn't take a genius to say girls can talk about things better. And quite frankly, as men, as a part of the male species, or, you know, the human species on the male side, we should all be more like girls. Now I'm going to have the guys coming after me. But hear me out. If we were able to talk how women talk, do you think more of us would be around? If you answer that question and you say no, I don't know what to tell you, brother. I think the answer is yes. If we were able to communicate more like how girls communicate, we would be around longer. We wouldn't want to take any way out. We want to live life to the fullest, and we would want to have a great time. And either way it goes, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this video. I already know, especially if it blows up. But I would just ask you to please be open to what I'm saying here, especially the girls. I know girls, some of the girls are going to be in this comment section saying, well, how do you know? It depends on the person. I know it depends on the person. I'm just saying in general, okay? I'm not trying to be sexist. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just being brutally honest. And brutal honesty is what's needed here. Because this is awful. And I hate to see it. I absolutely hate to see it, guys. The main thing I really want to drive home in this video is that I want everybody to reach out. I want men, women, whatever. I want all human beings to be able to feel like they can reach out. I also really don't want to see any more posts on Facebook like that, seeing that and being like, what the heck? How did that happen? I don't like it. It breaks my heart. I want everybody to succeed. I want everybody who watches my videos, I want everybody in the world except for really bad people to do good in life. I want everybody to have a great life. I want people to go to therapy. I want people to be happy, men and women. It's a irrefutable fact that men are more likely to just not even reach out, to not even give it a chance. You just need to reach out, guys. Men, women, anybody. You need to reach out. Yes, men having depression differently than women is a true thing. Because women are able to handle the depression better, in most cases, in general. And, I mean, the facts don't lie. I mean, I know I talk about me using my feelings a lot on this channel, but while I'm looking at these statistics here, these are not lies. These are facts. This is horrible. Men need to reach out more. Depression is different in men than it is in women. And I'm going to stand on that hill, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for it, but that's my piece. I'm not trying to be fake with anybody. That's what I think. I'm looking at the facts right here. It's awful. But what are your opinions about it? Let me know down below. If you think this video had any value, I'd ask you to subscribe, and I'd ask you to be kind to one another. If you're not going to do anything for me on this channel, you don't even have to do anything for me. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to like. I would love for you to, but you don't have to. If you can take anything away from this video, hug your buddies a little while longer. Reach out to people who you haven't heard from in a while. And take every single moment to make sure somebody's doing okay. Ask them, hey, how are you doing? Because that how are you doing could save somebody's life. Anyways, this is the Mental Health Gamer. I love you all. Please subscribe. Peace.